What does it take to be a best-selling author, an advocate for women, a leader in the space of helping people tell their story? My good friend Tam Luc is here to share everything that she does to help people tell their story, bring out the best of the best, and build community. Tam, I am so honored to have you as our special guest today on Fire Friday. Since the day I met you, I just knew we were meant to meet. We have so much in common, a similar mission. And I just want to welcome you to our very humble community of Fire Friday. So my friends can get to know you and hear a little bit about your story. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here. When I was talking to Jenny, I know she were telling me about this. I was like, "Oh my God, I would love it." So I'm just so happy to be here. And yes, we do have a lot of the same mission. We're, really championing women. I was telling my husband yesterday. I said, Veronica, I love that she's created so much impact in the world, but now she's really so focused on, helping other women to create impact in the world. So I'm thrilled.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. And I feel the same way, honored. And I got to witness you in Las Vegas. Just bring such a powerful community together of women and leaders from all different industries sharing their story, encouraging each other, empowering each other, educating each other on what it is to build not only wealth, but businesses that thrive and unlocking, right? Those powerful women's, I would say, superpowers,
Yes.
which was something that I just knew I was meant to be in that room. I feel like I've already connected with a lot of the women that were there, and I was like, oh, you're my people. And then your husband also was such a big advocate for the movement and your success and what you're building. And he reminded me a lot of Tony, and they really hit it off. So it's really nice to be in alignment with great people that are on a mission. But I think what's really interesting is having been able to get to know you. You have such a remarkable story and how this came to life. You have a background in, of course, commercial real estate, for many years, and worked in the worked the corporate ladder, did all that stuff. But here you are, an entrepreneur today, helping other entrepreneurs tell their story, write books. You're the founder of Women Who Boss Up, the series. I had the pleasure of working with you with a group of other 15 other women. We wrote a book together, Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate. But from there, you just have all these other, I think, silos of your business and where you're making an impact, that I would love for you to share a little bit about how, first of all, how did all this come to life, right? And how can people be a part of this mission, and what's next? But tell us a little bit about Tam before, the Women Who Boss Up community, and how it led up to it, so we can share what's next.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. So, I'm going to give a little bit different story than I've ever really given to anyone, just simply because of the real estate connection. I was very influenced by Robert Kiyosaki in the 80s. I think I saw him on Oprah Winfrey or something, and he said something about, the rich dad, poor dad. And I thought, oh, yeah, that is me all day. So I was in college for international studies and a minor in marketing at the time. And my idea was I did want to make an impact on the world. I wasn't really sure, but real estate was so appealing. Went home, talked my parents into, they owned a home improvement company, talked my parents into investing in real estate. And that's what started my real estate journey. I was doing it on the side. I graduated from college. I was also a flight attendant. That's kind of a side note. But when I got through with all of that, I went into commercial real estate. I worked for CB Richard Ellis, Cushman and Wakefield, Jones Lang LaSalle, some of the biggest ones. I was in marketing and operations. And on the side, I was an investor. So I invested in uh, beauty salons. Well, I've opened a beauty salon in Beverly Hills. I own property in Ohio, mixed use, all kinds of different single family, all kinds of different. And was thought I was going to be this real estate mogul, this international real estate mogul, doing it on the side of a corporate job. And holy smokes, I learned a lot. 2006, 7, and 8 kicked my butt. This is the part where people hear about when I was like so down and out and thought I had let down everyone. Everybody was so proud of me. I was doing this amazing thing. I went from 0 to 500,000 in a year, and it was just like I couldn't believe that I turned right back down to 0 or less than 0. And I was just I had a hard time. I literally dug a hole put myself in it, put the dirt over it, and felt like I couldn't even take care of myself. It was such a bad place. It took me a long time and I couldn't figure out how wasn't able to be successful. I started coaching a little bit. It wasn't till my mom passed away in 2016 that I actually figured out that I had to figure out what I needed to say when I wanted to say, why did my mom go through the difficulties she went through? Why did I go through the difficulties that I went through? What did it all mean? What was the reason for it? And I finally came to your story can change someone's life. That's what I came to. Wrote my book, my first book, got to six figures with that book, and my business kept going. And that experience started me on a whole new journey of coaching and helping women to use their stories to help other people. Was is and I love entrepreneurs, so I just focused on women entrepreneurs. And then 2020 hit, and it felt a lot like 2008 to me. And all those scary feelings came up. What are you going to do, Tam? You're going to dig a hole? You're going to bury yourself in the sand again? You're going to give up? What are you going to do? And I said, no, I'm going to boss up. You got to boss up. And I did. And I created the Woman Who Boss Up movement. And I found all these other women who wanted to boss up. And it just took on a whole new life of its own, where it was just going to be a book. It has become a movement. It has become just everything that I could even have imagined. And then here I am right back at real estate. Can you imagine?
I know, right? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. So since then it was You Bossed Up. So then
Mhm.
it was Women Who Boss Up. What are the different books that you have been able to help publish and bring women in their respective business or entrepreneurs? So it's Women Who Boss Up in real estate. What else? Latina Women Who Boss Up. What else?
Yes. So the first one was Women Who Boss Up in Life, Health, and Business. Then Women Who Boss Up in Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle. Then Asian Women Who Boss Up. Then International Women of Color Who Boss Up. Moms Who Boss Up. Women Who Boss Up Post Pandemic. Latinas Who Boss Up. Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate. Inspiring Women Professionals Who Boss Up. Phenomenal Women Speakers Who Boss Up. That's a new one. Women Who Boss Up in Las Vegas. That's one we're working on. Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate Orlando, which I'm so excited about. Women Who
Yeah,
Boss
that
Up.
kind of might have a little something to do with that one, right?
Just
I love
so
that. We
many.
can
It's
even talk about
literally
like
taken on its own.
wait,
Huh?
power couples who boss up, right?
Our
We
Guffels Who Boss
talked
Up.
about that. Just so many things, right? It's just such an amazing opportunity for people to boss up in their lives, right? But so the Orlando, Vegas, and future ones that you just mentioned, but the ones that if you go back to what Tam just said, 5 to 6, 7 books published from in the last 3 years in different industries and around surrounded by women and professionals who are leveling up in their industry. What I love is that you're not limited to just one career in one industry or one career path, right? It's like, wait, who else is leveling up or bossing up, right, in their world and making an impact? They all have stories,
Yes.
right? And these stories have become what has shaped them and led them to this entrepreneurial journey and to take these risks and to go make an impact. I loved hearing the attorney that you brought to the Women the Boss Up and Scale event in Vegas. She was so inspiring. A mother of five, I think. She's a
Yes.
mother of five. She's an attorney. She brings community together. And we also heard from one of the leaders of the goodness gracious, what is that? Non-profit organization
Oh,
for the
yes.
children.
Dress for Success.
Dress for Success, right? They were a part of this Women Boss Up and Scale, right?
Mhm.
As we're growing our businesses and we know we want to give back, but we know we have a passion to help other people really like level up and boss up in their careers, right? But the first thing for them is just maybe even getting their first suit to go
That's
on an
right.
interview or
That's right.
getting that first, wardrobe that's going to help them level up in their career. What I loved about it is like, wow, there are so many ways that we can help others boss up.
That's
And
right.
it's not always the business. It's not always, it's just helping that young professional get that first suit or get that first, piece of clothing that's going to make them feel confident to go into that interview or to go into that board meeting and present their business, idea, all these different things. It's like it literally just made me feel so inspired. And I was like, I need to boss up in my giving. I need to boss up in who I'm bringing up as young,
Mhm.
future lady leaders. And she was a phenomenal speaker,
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal speaker. Like, I want to have her on Fire Friday. Like, she's amazing. I want to help spread the word on the Dress for Success, um, nonprofit organization, and where, there's one in Florida, there's one in New York. But I
Yes.
was so impressed just on the statistics about women are still underrepresented in business, and how, you know, entrepreneurship starts with who you surround yourself with, and,
Yes.
of course, being inspired by someone saying you could do this.
Right.
And those women just need just a little bit of push, right? Just a little push. But that room was very powerful. But also, I think what was was you moved to Vegas a year ago, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, right? You changed your, not only, I mean, of course, your career path. 3
Mhm.
years ago, you started this movement. Then you also said, "Let me add a little bit more, like, let me just add a little bit more to the mix. Imma just also get up and move," right?
Yes.
Where do I wanna move to? And you decide to move to Las Vegas, and in 1 year, you have built up this community, and I watched how these women, and these are all high-level entrepreneurs, coming together, supporting each other's business, celebrating each other, inspiring each other. And you did this in one. People say, I don't know anyone, or I'm moving to a place where I don't know anyone. How did you do that? Because the reason I share this is because a lot of the people who listen to what Fire Friday, are in real estate, right?
Mhm.
So I think they can apply this to their life, but also to their real estate businesses. Like, you move somewhere, I'm starting all over. How do you do what you did in 1 year? I would have thought you knew these people for 10, 20 years, the way they raved about you, the way that community was brought together. Tell us, how do you break into a new market and create that much of an impact?
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So, let me just give you a little context. I lived in LA for 22 years, and I did not create. I did on a way, in a way, but not as quickly as I did in Vegas because I wasn't intentional about it. In LA, I was just kind of I was involved with some things. I'm a bit, and people don't know this, I'm a bit introverted. More like not really totally introverted, but do like to stay home. Okay. I built most of my business online. It was easy to do it during COVID anyway. So I could, I had this multi six figure business sitting in my office. But I decided when I moved to Vegas that I was not going to do that anymore. I was going to actually build local, build community, and I know that one of the first ways to really make a big impact is be in charge, just decide to be in charge of a certain radius around yourself. I can't remember what it was, 15 square miles around you, to really own your market, to own it. So in real estate, that definitely applies. You decide to own your market, and that means that you need to find leaders of leaders. Okay, that's my first thing. Find leaders of leaders. That means communities that you vibe with, and start going to each and every one of them to see if your people are there. That's the first thing I did. And find the women that are in charge of those communities, because those are the women that attract more women. Okay. That's what I did. The very first person I met was, she had a big organization, been around for 20 years. She opened me up to another woman who had a big organization. I told her what I was looking for. I started going to her stuff. And here's the other thing that's the key: never go to take, always go to serve.
Mm,
Never go to take. You go in there boosting and putting some, bowing to the queen. In other words, you're new in that location, and there's a lot of beautiful queens in your purview. You're not coming to take over. You're coming to serve. Okay? So you
mm.
find your queens, you lift them up, you serve them, you go in giving, and they people will start to see that's your intention. Also, don't depend on people to give you anything. you're always trying to bring them in on your ideas of brilliance, right? So you created this event. I create a lot of events. Events are brilliant to do this by. But if you create an event and then you like highlight them, right? Or you go to their location and you bring all your people to their location to highlight them. So now you're bringing them not only visibility for free, clout for free, and clients for free. They're just going to love you. There's no way. So they just keep doing that over and over and over and over with a good heart, not with any bad intention. It works.
I heard obviously keep things intention, a servant leader, right? You're not a taker, you're a giver. You're coming to contribute. You're honoring the fact that this community is embracing you and welcoming you. So you're
Hmm.
not coming in of what can I take from them? What can I, how can I leech onto this? Of course, you're wanting to say, like, I come from a place of abundance. I want to give value. And of course, once you've earned people's trust and once, you've contributed enough, I believe you earn the right to, you know, receive the blessings that come with it, right? But it's never a blessing if you expect it to be given to you.
Right.
Like, that is a selfish act, right? It's kind of like this thing is like, look, what can I do to make this community better? What
That's
can
it.
I do to, like, bring my energy in here knowing that they don't owe me anything?
Mm-mm.
Even if I have a skill set or even if I can bring, if you come in automatically thinking, "This is what I do," like, I like, like your we call it commission breath in real estate, but it's anything else in entrepreneurship, like, you're just wanting to, people to know what you do because you have your own ulterior motives.
Right.
That is the worst thing you can do.
It's
I
the
mean, it is.
worst.
And I have so many people who come to, like, our events or our communities. The first thing they do is like, "Hey, I'd love to do coffee with you and tell you how I could serve your clients and I could do." I'm like, "You don't know how you can serve me. You don't know what I need from you. You just met me."
Right.
What I'd love for you is to learn first of our community, see if you are a fit for our community, and then we can from there explore what further opportunities. I just sat down with someone yesterday and we had a meeting, and they have been, I don't want to use the word nurturing the relationship, but just we've been in a relationship, you know, for 5 years-ish, just very, "Hey, listen, one day we're gonna have an opportunity to do something together. One day. We don't know what it is. One day." But we always knew we had to go do our own thing and, like, really just focus on the things that were important for our community or our business. But we're always celebrating each other, right? And saying, "Hey, listen,
Hmm.
if there's anything I can do to serve you, just let me know. And hey, I saw you guys are doing this. Let me know. Hey, I'm celebrating them. They're celebrating us." But, like, it was this thing of like, we see each other when we first thought something might happen, quite didn't happen because sometimes you're not ready
Right.
for the opportunity that you're asking for. Sometimes you're not ready or prepared. And I think so many people go in with the ulterior motives of, like, what's in it for me now? How can I, benefit off of this community when we should be learning from each other?
Exactly.
Supporting each other, empowering each other while we're building our own businesses, and eventually, if it's meant
Yes.
to be, you can come together because you can't get bunch of high Ds in a room and automatically say what's gonna work. Because it's like, well, my idea is better than yours, or my idea.
Right.
But when you bring 2 leaders together that have gotten, I'm gonna say, their teeth kicked in a couple times, and each have had their dose of humble piece of pie,
Hmm.
so we both looked at each other and says, "You know what? We're so proud of what you've been able to do over the last 5 years. By the way, I see you. I see how you restructured some things. I see how, you guys overcame this and vice versa. Hey, I saw how you guys did this and how you kept pushing forward and you guys overcame adversity." So then there was this level of respect
Right.
amongst each other that was like, this is the time.
This is the
This
time.
is when we're supposed to come because egos are checked. We kind of see how we handle adversity. We understand each other's culture and who we want to be in business with.
Hmm.
Now we could discuss the future
That's
together.
right. That's
But
right.
it's crazy how everybody automatically thinks it's like now,
No,
and it's not. The
and it's
currency
not.
of the relationship oftentimes is way more valuable than the instant gratification of a transaction.
Relationship building is such a key part of it, okay? And nurturing relationship. And anything when you think about dating, I think about I'm always dating. I'm dating women. Women are not used to dating each other. They're used to being courted or courting each
Mhm.
other. They're used to being courted. So, and we're used to saying, no, I don't, deciding if we want this
Or women are used to
experience.
sizing each other up,
Yes,
right?
or sizing each other up. We're used to that. But, if we kind of flip it and think about how men court, right? And court each other instead of what we've been used to doing. Oh, it'd be so much of better experience because you get a chance to, come in a little slower, take it a little longer. Love is so much better, much better meaning when it's slowed down,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
and I truly want to go, not a love like a physical love relationship like that, but you want to love these women that you are, partnering with and really want to see good things happen in their business and in their life. That's your intention. That is
Yeah.
truly my intention. Like I
One of
always am
my
thinking, what is in it for them?
one of my sorry, I just this came to
Mhm.
it came to my heart and my mind. One of my good friends, which I want you guys to meet, her name is Kendall Bonner. We talk a lot about growth and business and leadership and just evolution of life and, also our spirituality. And, she's taught me this exercise of, you know, how her grandmother taught her how to pray for her husband before she met her husband.
Oh yes.
And,
Mhm.
how she prays for her daughter's husband and her son's wife, and they're in high
Yes.
school. She says, "I'm praying for that God is taking care of them and preparing them for when the day they meet, you know, it is, in God's, favor and all the prayers of a soft heart, all the different things, right?" Um, and we also talked about how we've been praying for a tribe, right? This tribe of like, I remember what it felt like to be surrounded by people that perhaps were envious or not kind or this or that.
Right.
And now, like I also was a part of that. I entertained a lot of that when I was, not in the right space or not in the right mindset or environment. Now I just pray for God to bring me people that are aligned with,
Yes.
my heart, my spirit, for me to have more forgiving heart, for me to be more understanding, for me to be a better leader, but also to bring me leaders with a forgiving heart. Bring me leaders that also are on the same journey and have the same mission and alignment as myself, right? That I'm on, and that this tribe is protected.
Yes.
Protected with blessings and abundance and love. I mean, we can literally, you know, I think you call it manifestation, you call it whatever you want to call it, pray. I think we should do the same thing in our
Mhm.
business and the people that come into our world, right? And I know a lot of people have standards on their walls or they have it in their employee handbook and they have this, but like for me, I do it from a place of like a
Mhm.
grateful heart. And I also say, Lord, please, anyone that is not aligned with that, I give you like I welcome the fact that that is revealed to me
Yes.
because
Yes.
it is part of the growth. And I think that what you have done is you have put together this community, whether you intentionally prayed about it or not, of what your heart and soul not only needs but gives to the world, right? Is bringing you givers that are equally committed
Yes.
to this mission of empowering other people, of pioneering change, of embracing diversity, of being bold and different, of telling their story because we know every single one of us has a story. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be one extreme or the other.
Right.
You don't have to have some traumatic story to
Right.
have a story.
That's
You
right.
just have to tell your story.
That's right.
You just
Y
have to get out there and share your story.
That's so
That's why
right.
I'm so grateful that you are doing this because when we met, I thought it was just one of those, okay, quick thing. I was like, oh my God, like you are my people. We could share all the business practices, but the stories, the unique
Yes.
stories are what bring this community together and make it stronger. So, what is next for Women Who Boss Up and the book series? And if someone wanted to learn more about what you do to help elevate people's businesses, how can they reach
Yes. Okay. So number 1, I'm gonna give you 2 ways, Okay, I'm going to give you two ways to connect with me, and I'll explain. So I'm going to give you old school way, and I'm going to give you the new school way. Old school way is just email me, Tam at deluxe DELUCSLIFE.com. That's the old school way.
We'll
New
put that
school
in the
way.
comments. We'll put that
Well,
in the comments as well.
okay. New school way is you can find me on all social media. I'm on, I'm tamarluck.com, deluxelifemedia.com, Women with Vision International .com, as well as all the social medias that follow that. You can find me anyway, or just Tamar Luck, right? So I would love to hear from you. Now, what are we doing next? Oh my goodness, I'm really so inspired right now by real estate. When I did your book, Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate, it was all the feels came back, all my experience came back. I've had my real estate license for over 18 years. I was in real estate for 22 years of my career. And so all the feels came back. And when I started to think about women who boss up and can boss up from no education or low education or massive education, I can see real estate. You can really boss up. You can really scale with real estate. So I'm just inspired by it. So your book got me all jazzed up to do one in every city.
I love I love that.
Yeah, so I'm like, let me just show how women can really boss up, in different cities. So if you're in real estate, especially, I would love to hear from you because we're right now working on Houston, Orlando, Las Vegas, and Maryland. And
Mm,
so I would love to connect. If you feel like you're a woman, and let me just explain boss up really fast. Boss up means you believe in yourself.
mm.
You believe in yourself, right? You don't have to be all bossed up to 8, 10 figures or something. That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying you believe in yourself and you're ready to inspire, motivate, like as your tagline says, dream, motivate, and inspire others.
I love that. And I was gonna say what also inspires me as we wrap up is that you also have seen how your community that you're building and other communities can collaborate. So you're working with specialists who help women um, elevate their speaking,
Yes.
right? A speakers bureau. You're collaborating with a glam team. You're
Yeah,
collaborating with a speakers bureau team. You're collaborating with a agency team. So guys, Tam's world isn't just inclusive to the book, it's her network of amazing other leaders who have their own specialty niche, and she's on a mission to bring those community together, that community together. So if you're looking to elevate, boss up, maybe have your story told, maybe be the one who bosses up in your city in real estate, and you can bring a group of real estate agents to, within your city to come together, collaborate, write that book. You also get introduced to an amazing network of, I would say, leaders in the space of seeing more women on stage, more women break through and tell their stories also as a speaker
mhm,
in on the speaker bureau space. So
that's right.
really cool things that are coming. I just want to first of all thank you. And I think we'll have you back on a part two, and we'll just share kind of like the where are you at now? What else is coming? I think maybe we can break down and maybe share some of the covers and what it takes to write a book, because maybe
Right.
someone's not ready to write a book with you yet. Maybe, I don't know, so many stories out there. We want to give you value even if it's not with Tam, right?
That's right.
Because we are givers, not takers. We believe that we should at least give you some nuggets, but like we'll bring you back. I promise that. And then maybe we'll do a webinar as well. It's like, you know what? So you want to write a book. Now what? That's what we're going
Right.
to call the next one. So you want to write a book. Now what? Art. This woman, I saw her execute a book in less than 3 months with 16, herding 16 real estate women. That's like herding cats. So, like, if you can get 16 women to write a book and meet a timeline, Tam is the person to at least give you the framework. And whether it's with Tam, we just want to inspire you, provoke enough inside of you to
That's
know
right.
you have a story and you so go tell it. So, Tam, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. You're amazing. Until the next time, my friend, I'll see you up and keep on bossing up.
Thank you so much for having me.